Every app you install, every service you sign up for, every browser extension you add, each one is a trust decision, and most people make these decisions without really thinking about what they're agreeing to. This module covers how to evaluate third-party tools before you install them, the specific risks of browser extensions which have a level of access most people find alarming when they understand it, and how to clean up the trail of forgotten apps and connected services you've accumulated over the years. After this module part 3 is complete, 6 defenses built. Now we move to what happens when they're not enough. Every app you install, every service you sign up for, every browser extension you add, every login with Google you click, each one is a trust decision. You are granting a third party some level of access to your device, your data, or your accounts. Most of the time, that trust is well placed. Sometimes it is not. The risk is not theoretical. 3 examples from recent years. In 2021, a widely used VPN app on the Google Play Store was found to have been quietly modified after its initial publication to collect user data and forward it to third parties. In 2020, a popular browser extension with millions of users was discovered to be harvesting complete browsing histories and selling them. In 2023, a free PDF tool downloaded by millions of people turned out to be adware that redirected search results and installed additional unwanted software. None of these were downloaded from shady websites. They were all available through official channels, with good ratings, for extended periods. The question is not whether to trust third parties at all. That is unavoidable in modern digital life. The question is how to evaluate that trust, and how to limit the exposure when trust turns out to have been misplaced. App stores from Apple and Google provide real value. They scan for known malware, verify developer identities, and review apps before listing them. This is worth something. But it is not a guarantee. Malicious apps regularly appear in official stores despite review processes. They may pass initial review as legitimate tools and only become malicious after an update. They may use permission combinations that are technically allowed but practically harmful. And they frequently use names or icons that closely mimic trusted apps, the real WhatsApp, the real banking app, and several imposters appearing side by side in search results. The safer approach: navigate to the app via the developer's official website and follow the download link from there. The developer's website links to the genuine listing, not an imposter. 4 questions. Asked before installing any app or signing up to any service. Catch the vast majority of problematic tools before they cause harm. Who made it? Green, a known established developer or company with a real website and contact information. Red, unknown developer with no web presence or a name very similar to a well-known app. WhatsApp free, Geozorgle Maps, with no privacy policy linked. What permissions does it request? Green, permissions that make sense for the app's stated function, a navigation app wanting location, a camera app wanting camera access. Red, permissions with no obvious connection to the app's function, a calculator wanting contacts, a wallpaper app wanting microphone access. If you cannot construct a plausible explanation for why the app's stated function requires a specific permission, deny it or choose a different app. Does it have a privacy policy? Green, a clear, accessible policy that explains what data is collected and why. Red, no privacy policy at all, or a clearly generic template that claims to share data with partners without naming them. How is it monetized? Green, a clear paid model or a transparent freemium structure. Red, free with no obvious revenue source, or a business model that is unclear or unstated, particularly for free apps in categories where development costs are substantial. The permission test is the single fastest check and worth repeating explicitly. Ask for what this app does, Why would it need this specific permission? A weather app needs your location. It does not need your contacts, your microphone, or your files. A photo editor needs camera access. It does not need to read your SMS messages. If you cannot construct a plausible answer, deny the permission, or choose a different app. Not all third parties carry equal risk. The risk depends on what access you grant them, what data they can reach, and what happens if they are compromised. Understanding this lets you apply proportionate scrutiny rather than treating every app identically. Critical risk: password managers, identity providers, and security tools. These have privileged access to credentials or act as the gateway to all other accounts. A compromise here is a total compromise. Use only well-established providers with strong track records. Enable MFA. Review exactly what each can access. High risk: cloud storage, email providers, banking apps, work productivity tools. These store or process sensitive personal or financial data. A breach exposes significant information. Stick to reputable providers. Review sharing settings. Enable MFA. Medium risk: shopping apps, streaming services, social media, fitness trackers may hold payment details, location history, or contacts. Use unique passwords, that is, use your password manager. Limit permissions. Review privacy settings. Remove when no longer used. Lower risk: games, utilities, and reference apps with no account or cloud component. Limited access to sensitive data. A compromise affects only that app's function. Still check permissions and developer reputation. Avoid anything from unofficial sources. Now, the concentration risk that many people do not think through. Login with Google, login with Apple, login with Facebook. These are convenient and, for the individual services they protect, more secure than reusing passwords. But the risk is concentration. If the central account, Google, Apple, or Facebook, is compromised, every service linked to it through that login is simultaneously compromised. The mitigation is not to stop using these logins. It is to treat the central account as critical infrastructure. Enable the strongest available MFA on your Google or Apple account. Authenticator app at minimum, hardware key if possible. Review which services are connected via that account's security settings, and remove any you no longer use. Apple Sign In has an additional privacy advantage. It can generate unique relay email addresses for each service, so the service never knows your real email address. Browser extensions deserve special attention because their permission model is unusually powerful. An extension with read and change all data on websites you visit permissions can see everything you type into every website, read every page you visit, and in principle intercept any data passing through your browser, including your banking login, including the form where you just entered your credit card number, including the work document you are editing in the cloud. This is a significant level of trust to place in a third party, and it is granted with a single click during installation. Most users do not consider the implications. 4 categories of extension and the specific risks each carries. Ad blockers and privacy tools. Legitimate ad blockers, uBlock Origin, Privacy Badger, are well audited and widely reviewed. However, malicious extensions with similar names exist, and they request read and change all data on websites you visit, permissions by default. Install only from the official browser store. Verify the developer name exactly. Productivity tools, grammar checkers, PDF editors, writing assistants. These often read everything you type or every page you visit in order to function. That means significant amounts of sensitive data passing through a third party. Use only from established providers you trust. Understand that these tools see your content. Disable them on banking and medical sites if possible. Shopping assistants and coupon finders. These typically send your entire browsing history to the extension provider's servers to identify relevant offers. That is extensive behavioral data collection. in exchange for small discounts. Consider whether that trade-off is worthwhile. If using one, use a separate browser profile dedicated to shopping. Extensions you no longer use. Browser extensions can be sold to other developers after acquisition, who then update them with data harvesting or malicious code. The user who installed a legitimate tool 3 years ago may now have malware. This is how several major extension compromises have unfolded. The 5-minute audit. Open your browser's extension management page, Chrome://extensions in Chrome, about add-ins in Firefox, extensions in Safari. For each extension, do you still use it? Do you remember installing it? Does the developer name look exactly right? Remove anything you do not actively use, cannot explain, or are uncertain about. Check the permissions of everything you keep. Read and change all data on websites you visit is a high trust permission. Is this extension worth that trust? This takes 5 minutes and removes a category of risk that most people have never considered. Module 8 introduced supply chain attacks from an organizational perspective. The same risk exists at the individual level, and it is one of the most difficult to defend against because it does not require any mistake on your part. When you use a reputable application, you inherit the security of every library, component, and dependency that application relies on. A vulnerability in a widely used open-source library can expose millions of users simultaneously, even though each user did everything right. Complete protection against supply chain attacks is not achievable at the individual level. What is achievable? Keep software updated. When a supply chain compromise is discovered and patched, the fix reaches you through an update. Automatic updates means you receive fixes as fast as possible. Minimize your software footprint. Every application you install is a potential supply chain exposure. Fewer applications means a smaller attack surface. Uninstall what you no longer need. Use reputable, well-maintained applications. Established applications with active development communities respond to supply chain incidents faster and more transparently than abandoned or obscure tools. And now the habit most people overlook entirely. Most people are reasonably careful about which services they sign up for. Almost nobody is as careful about leaving. Dormant accounts are one of the most consistently overlooked personal security risks. An account you no longer use still holds your data, may still have a password you reused elsewhere, still appears in breach notifications. And if the service is acquired, its new owners inherit your data and may use it under different terms. The offboarding habit, 4 steps, every time you stop using a service. First, revoke app connections before deleting. If you used the account for login with Google or similar, revoke those connected apps via the account's security settings first. Second, export your data if you want to keep it. Under GDPR, you have the right to a copy before deletion. Request a data export from account settings if you want any history. Third, delete the account, not just deactivate it. Most services provide a delete account option in settings. Deletion removes your data. Deactivation typically does not. Fourth, uninstall the app from your device separately. Uninstalling the app does not delete your account or data on the service's servers. They are separate steps. This is part 3 complete. The 6 modules in this part have given you a practical toolkit: authentication, access control, device security, encryption, privacy, and third-party trust. The defenses that matter most applied correctly. Part 4 shifts to what happens when those defenses are not enough, because they sometimes are not, and how you respond well when things go wrong. Alright, before we move on, here are the 3 things from this module I want you to hold on to. Number 1, every app install and every login with Google click is a trust decision. Official app stores reduce risks, but do not eliminate it. Number 2, browser extensions with read and change all data on websites you visit can see everything you type, including banking credentials. Number 3, offboarding habit. Delete accounts you no longer use. Uninstalling the app is separate from deleting the account. Now, before you move on, there is one question. You find a free PDF editing app in the Google Play Store with 4.8 stars and 50,000 downloads. It requests access to your contacts, microphone, and the location. The developer has no website and there is no privacy policy. Should you install it? The correct answer is B. The 6-question evaluation framework catches this immediately. Who made it? Unknown developer. No web presence. What permissions? Contacts, microphone, and the location for a PDF editor. None of these have any connection to PDF editing. Does it have a privacy policy? No. These 3 red flags together make this app unacceptable regardless of its star rating. Ratings can be purchased. The fundamental question is, why does a PDF editor need your contacts and microphone? There is no good answer. Next up, Module 15, Spotting and Reporting Incidents. See you there.